If you're new to leatherwork, these 3 things could be holding you back. When you first start leatherworking, there's a whole lot of things to learn and skills to develop. What I have here today is 3 mistakes that I see a lot of beginner leatherworkers making, and these are things that you can fix without practicing over time. They're quick little things that'll just make your product look nicer and make your life easier while you're working. So let's just get right into it. The first one is, I know I've talked about it before, but strop your tools. There's so many issues that come up from dull tools, and it's such a simple solution. You just strop them, and it's so easy to do. You can take jeweler's rouge, rub it on your leather. There. You can take a skiving knife, strop that, good. You have diamond chisels, great, strop those too. Nice. Even your punches for your corners, you can strop those. There, stropped. Here, your X-Acto blade. Pop that out. You don't need to buy these whenever they get a little bit dull. It's beveled on both sides, strop it on both sides. There you go. Blade's sharp again. Pop it back in. Good to go. I strop my tools before I make anything. It makes a world of a difference. If I strop my corner punches, for instance, I can usually, if I wanted to, just push it straight through the leather. I don't need to, put too much effort into punching something through. And when you use dull tools, your leather warps, and that's how you get stupid, wonky lines. So just strop your tools. It takes literally seconds before you do anything. Number two would be, don't buy tools that you don't need. I questioned my following on Instagram, and that was, by and large, the number one thing people said was buying tools that you don't need. You don't really need that much to start in leathercraft. There's a bunch of crap that you'll get with like those kits, the starter kits that you buy. So if you can avoid it, just buy just the basics, really. You need a knife. I like an X-Acto knife. They're cheap. You can get them at Home Depot. Blades are dirt cheap, especially on Amazon. You need stitching punch. I have the diamond chisel from Amazon. The only thing with these is if you do get one of the black ones, you really want to strop it and even possibly sand it down, because that black color is actually some kind of paint, and it'll help it stick into the leather. So if you can polish it down to the bare metal, then it's going to come out way easier. You don't need this crap or this thing or this weird punch thing, these nail file things, or they're sort of the super skiver dumb thing. These all pretty much suck, and if you just get the basics, you'll figure out what you need as you go. Like, some guys do use a proper version of this to make their stitching holes. Some guys like the edge creaser, but you don't need it off the bat. It's a waste of money. Buy decent quality basics, I would say. A knife, some needles, not these things. I'll link them below, but get John James needles. They're the best ones you can get, and they're still relatively cheap. You will want some kind of edger. This is an expensive one, but I used a cheap Amazon one for longer than I've used that anyway. You are going to want one of these just to slick your edges. I will make a list in the description and where to get the stuff. You don't need everything that comes in one of those kits. It's just a waste. It's going to sit in your drawer like mine's doing here. Number 3 has to be sand your edges down. I see so many people post about having a hard time burnishing, and you just need to sand your edges properly. A lot of the new guys are taking whatever sandpaper they bought at Home Depot, sanding it, running the burnisher along for a few seconds, and then saying they have issues. You really need to sand your edges down to get them right. This is my stack of sandpapers I use. It goes from 120 grit all the way down to 3000. I normally don't go to 3000, but I will go usually as low as 800 or 1000 and progressively. So sand your edges with that, you sand your edges with that, next one, and so on until I get down to what I want. It does take time, it's tedious, but that's just how it is. If you want a good product and you want to be able to charge decent money for it, then you got to put in the time and effort to make something good. And with that said, I have a kind of a bonus tip for you. Take your time when you're making something. This is, for a lot of people, it's a hobby turned into a business. But mostly when people start this, it's a hobby. It's something they enjoy doing. I don't know anyone out there that's making leather stuff and absolutely hates doing it. So take your time, enjoy it. The more time you take and the more meticulous you are, the better your stuff's gonna look. And the better your stuff looks, the more pride you'll take in it, and so on. Like, it's just kind of that snowball effect, right? You take your time with your crappy tools and you make something that's still really nice but took a while. It sells for a higher price. With that higher price, you can buy better tools. It's easier to make the same or better quality item. You can sell it for more, and so on. It just keeps snowballing. You keep getting better stuff. You reduce the amount of time it takes you to make stuff. You're making better stuff as well as your skills are getting better, and it's just all comes from just taking time, enjoying the process, not worrying too much about what other people are doing. If you liked this video, if you could hit like below, that helps me out a lot. Check out one of my other videos, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.